Hello, boys and girls. Today we're going to read The Listeners. The first page is the note from the author. The lives of slaves depended on circumstances beyond their control. They had nothing to say about whom they would work for or where they would live. They never knew when they might be separated from their children or their spouses. Hoping to learn their fate, they sent small children to hide near the windows of their masters' homes to listen. Authors are listeners too. That's how they find their stories. They listen. Sometimes they hear stories from people who have lived them. Sometimes they hear words spoken long ago and set down in books. It's what writers do. They listen, and like Bobby, Sue, and Ella May, they pass their stories along. It's still dark in the morning when the boss blows on the bugle. We're out of bed fast. My friends Bobby and Sue are too little to pick cotton, like I do. Bobby drives the cows out to pasture. Sue helps the grannies care for their babies. We come home tired. We come home hungry. But Bobby, Sue, me, and Ella May get more work to do after supper. We got to listen. Sweet potatoes in our bellies, molasses still sweet on our mouths, we're on our way. Master and mistress at the great house don't tell us slaves nothing. We children listen and carry back the news to our folk. The fireflies turn on and off. Bobby, Sue, and me, Ella May, hunch down in the bushes next to the great house. Listening is a job for us children. We make ourselves small as cotton seeds and quiet as shadows. The breezes puff the curtains out in the open windows. Sand flies bite us and mosquitoes stick pins in us, but we don't slap at them. We're here to listen. Master Thomas and Mistress Louise and their children, Little Master John and Little Mistress Grace, are taking their leisure. Mistress Grace is playing on the piano. The music talks and talks to us and never has to say a word. We hold hands tight for fear the music's going to carry us right away. Master Thomas tells the mistress we slaves going to get us a new overseer to boss us. I got a smile big as an alligator on my face. I hate the old boss. If you don't pick the cotton fast enough, he comes by with his nasty cane and flicks it at you. Bobby, Sue, and me, Ella May, hurry home fast as foxes to tell the news. Our mammy claps hands and dances around. My daddy says I'm not clapping my hands till I see the new man. The son and me start our work at the same time. I pick with Mammy and Daddy. The little prickers on the cotton plants bite at my fingers. We work hard in the cool of the morning. Daddy once picked 400 pounds of cotton in one day. Nobody picks faster than my daddy does. It's noontime. It's noon and time to eat. There's big wooden trough for us kids and clamshells or for spoons. We got salt pork and corn dumplings and a mess of black-eyed peas looking up at us. We eat and eat until our bellies are fat as possums. In the afternoon, the sun melts me so I can hardly pick. Daddy sees my basket is nearly empty, and he puts in some of his cotton. He doesn't want the boss to flick me with his nasty cane. That night, up at the great house, we listen and hear Master Thomas say, I've had an offer from the Spencers to buy William. They're short of men. William? That's my daddy. My heart's a flock of scared birds flying every which way. I listen and listen. I don't believe I can spare him, Master Thomas says. He's one of our best pickers and handy with machines. I'm thinking of teaching him how to keep the cotton gin in good repair. I let out my breath and put my arm around Sue. Her daddy got sold away last year, and she ain't seen him since. When I get home, I hug my daddy hard and tell him the good news. It's Saturday night. Mammy washes our clothes, and Near rubs the skin off us, scrubbing us shiny clean for church. We sit in the gallery. White folks sit below us in the church. When we sing Amazing Grace, white folk and slaves sing together. In the afternoon, we go into the woods. Our church has a blue sky for the ceiling and green grass for the floor. We've got our own preacher. He tells us the story of Moses who freed the people of Israel. The good Lord's going to free us too, he promises. The Jubilee is coming. We sing all God's chillin' got wings and stand still Jordan. We sing louder than the white folks to be sure the good Lord hears us. I hope he's listening. We're listening when the boss tells Master Thomas a plow and some horses would get the work done faster than the hoe. That sounds good to us because the hoe is hard work. The master says he's not buying any plow. Slaves, he says, are cheaper than horses. Tonight, every candle in the great house is lit. It looks like they hung up the sun right inside our parlor. There's a party going on. Fiddles throw music out the windows. Bobby, Sue, and me, Ella May, dance on the grass. We dance and dance until our feet are damp with dew, and the whippoorwill says it's time to go home. Hallelujah! The last of the cotton is picked. I get to help Daddy be a jumper today. They hang a big bag of cotton, and we climb right in. We jump and jump on the cotton. I dance the turkey trot and the Mary Jane. First, the cotton is soft to my toes, but when we're finished dancing, that bale is hard packed. That same night, when we listen to hear Mistress Louise ask, "Why don't I start a little school for the slave children?" Master Thomas says, "What can you be thinking, my dear? It's against the law to educate slaves." The lady who teaches Mistress Grace has sent her a poem to learn. She says it over and over for her mamma. "And I will make thee beds of roses, and 1,000 fragrant posies, a cap of flowers, and a kirtle, embroidered all with the leaves of myrtle." I know roses and I know myrtle bushes, but I sure don't know what a kittle is. And neither do Bobby and Sue. I say the poem all the way home, and now it's my poem too. When I go to sleep, I pretend my scratchy straw mattress is a bed of roses. Cold weather is coming, so winter clothes get handed out. Bobby gets a shirt. Sue and me get a flannel dress and drawers. No new shoes. My toes won't like that. Master Thomas, oh dear. Master Thomas is spied walking around in his uniform, brass buttons, sword and all. Daddy tells me Ella May and Bobby and Sue need to listen extra hard tonight. I get a feeling dangerous times are coming. Could be our lives going to depend on what you children hear. Master Thomas is angry. His words come out as mean as rattlesnakes. "I can't believe Abraham Lincoln has been elected president." Master says, "Lincoln is a madman. He says slavery's wrong. He says slavery must end." Bobby, Sue, and me, Ella May, run fast. Our mammies and daddies gather around us. This time they do the listening. We tell them we got us a new president, Abraham Lincoln. Daddy says, "Moses is come. We're going to be free like the children of Israel. It's the Jubilee for sure." I asked Daddy, "Is our listening over?" Daddy says, "We see the road, but we don't see all the way to where the ending is. We got to know how long is that road and how we get down it." Bobby, Sue, and you, Ella May, your listening has just begun. The end.